So apparently, the reason rival fans hate Arsenal is because of their fans. As a Chelsea fan, I had to respond to this and give my opinion. Let's talk about it properly. Now, before I actually get into this, make sure you're liking the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to FamZone TV as well, because that's what the video is about. Big up to D to give you guys some context. D from FamZone TV made a video. He's an Arsenal fan. You know what I'm saying? Dropped a little video and essentially gave his perspective on why he believes rival fans hate Arsenal fans, or whether we hate Arsenal and Arsenal fans. And yeah, man, look, I seen the video, I think it was yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I believe that he was right, but I'll kind of give you guys my perspective on it as well, and give you guys some insight on to why some of us actually like or dislike Arsenal, and I'll explain that to you guys. But let's actually get into the actual video. Let me put it up on the screen. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to FanZone TV. I'll put their link in the description, so make sure you do that. And let's get into it.
They hate Arsenal because of the fan base, because the fan base are too entitled and the fan base are too arrogant. That's the reason why most rival fans hate Arsenal. They don't even hate the players on the pitch. No one hates Declan Rice. No one hates Saka. No one hates Gabriel Saliba. Them man are not problematic like that. Arteta, okay, he's a bit of a character, but them players are not problematic characters or larger than life characters to hate. Everybody hates the Arsenal fan base.
And look, so far, I agree with him. As a rival, I don't necessarily, I'm not someone that was born in the UK or in London or lived in London and genuinely know every single bit about the rivalry, and I experienced it. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I lived overseas, do you know what I'm saying? In the Netherlands, to be exact. And I grew up as a Chelsea fan. And then I'm not gonna lie to you, I've always been a football fan first and foremost for me. So a lot of the times I was, anytime I can see some good football, I'll tune in. I knew Arsenal usually always played some good football. My team was more about winning. It didn't matter what you did, how you did it, it was about winning. And I obviously enjoyed that too. But if I watched Arsenal games, they usually played really good football. And that's kind of their history in terms of in my lifetime. Do you know, I'm not talking about the Graham and like, all those people. Like, I don't really George Graham and them. And I know that they won one, they won all that. But I'm talking about in my lifetime on the Wenger. And I know that Arsenal fans always had the fan base, right? The biggest online fan base, AFTV, these kind of things here and there. But for me, it's always a thing where I feel like he kind of hit the nail on the head. Not every Arsenal fan's going to be able to understand what he's trying to say because they don't want to understand. Everything's a rival. We have to be against each other all the time kind of thing. Whereas for me, it's never been like that. I understand Arsenal are my rivals, local, London, whatever. Yes, I understand that. I think what's made it a thing where we don't want Arsenal to win the league, it's not because, they're going to have one more league title or no, it's because we can't stand the fan base because of their behavior. But we'll get into that more. I don't have any issues with any of the players. I've always liked Saka. Yes, I criticized Declan Rice because of, people thinking he's Rodri level or close to Rodri. There's always these things about overgassing players. And I've always rated certain players. I've always said Arsenal have a good defense. You know what I mean? It's not like I can't say otherwise anyway, because then I'm lying to myself. I've always said they have a good defense. I've always praised Arsenal for the things they are. That you actually give them credit for, and I've criticized them for the things that I believe are worth criticizing.
That's why rival fans want Arsenal to lose so badly, because of the fan base, because the fan base are too entitled. The fan base think, oh, no matter what, we should be winning leagues regardless of everything, regardless of the surroundings, regardless of the circumstance, regardless. You get people.
In this bit, I'm not really. I kind of understand he's more talking about the people that think they're gonna win everything because of how good they think their team actually is. You know, you hear people talking about quadruples and this, and that. But in general, I think it's more of a you haven't won anything in recent times. The last time you won something was the FA Cup. We always know that the FA Cup was Arsenal's trophy. But then since then, if you have been winning here and there every year, maybe a Carabao Cup, an FA Cup, those seasons where you ended up winning nothing, there's still things to look back on. Like now, when you go back and look at all these years, when you haven't won anything, like what makes you think that you can speak to teams that are winning stuff when you haven't won anything? You can keep saying that I'm looking at this trophy, I'm trying to win the best trophy, but if you keep coming home empty-handed, that doesn't mean anything. All you've done is participate. You know, Chelsea had to essentially force the red cartel to respect them. City had to do it by doing a 4P. You know, Chelsea had to win everything. Like, you have to win, and that's, you automatically get the respect. City fell off for 1 year. City fell off for 1 year. And people turn on them. He's not good enough. Pep's a fraud. He can't do this without money. He can't do that. And all these years, you see Arsenal just finishing second, losing this, losing that. And it's the same people saying, nah, we're still better than you. We've still had better seasons than you. And I'm like, you don't understand what's going on here. Do you know what I mean? You don't understand. Like, even if you go back to some of the seasons where they were challenging, in terms of like Liverpool and City. You know, like they say, yeah, no, you just rivals. Rivals are never going to give you credit. Rivals aren't supposed to be standing alongside you, or rivals aren't supposed to be giving you credit. If they are giving you credit, it's because they have a hidden agenda. Like all these things where they overthink things or have this paranoid like behavior like thing. That's just, it's just something that irks you, especially if you're not really trying to bring an agenda, or you just think that you're giving your opinion and you just want to see what people think. But yeah, let's keep going. Let's see what he got to say.
Talking about Arsenal have won the league in October and November. You got other people saying about this player.
Yeah, listen, go into this bit, and this relates to this season or the last couple of seasons where, you know, do you remember when they were, the season where they were 93% top of the league? People had the t-shirt with Arsenal top of the league, essentially trying to say we've already won the league. They never won the league that season. We've had people saying that the league's wrapped up already this season. And now all of a sudden, City's 4 points behind them. You know, a lot of the times we say, listen, well, what do we say to Arsenal fans? We'll talk in May. If you do what you need to get done in May and you win the league, or you win the Champions League, or you win this trophy and that trophy, then you start to gain respect automatically. The respect comes from you winning. This is the one, because of how long they haven't won a major trophy or a league or Champions League or anything like that. They don't know how to behave. That's how it feels like. And I'm not getting at all the Arsenal fans. There's just a large section. We have those type of people in our, but there's no one like those part of the Arsenal fans. There's nothing like them, bro. And I know that we have it at Chelsea where there's the ultra positive, the negatives, the in between. That we have them as well. But there's nothing like Arsenal fans. Whether it's just constantly copium. You're ruining the hope and the copium that I have. Leave me alone kind of thing. And it's almost, and they always ask for things. But with the league thing, they all acted like the league was done. We're going to be running away with it. Look where we're going. We got the best squad. Da, da, da. And then all of a sudden, they lose a game. But our 2 centre-backs were injured. We didn't get this. We got shoved in this. We got... There's always something. That is another thing. They hype something, and when it doesn't come out the way that come, well, we expected to lose anyway. Like, there's no team is perfect. Like, there's always deflections, and they don't hold themselves or the club accountable. And that's another thing.
the best player in the world. You got other people say that's what the Arsenal fan base do. When I'm online saying
I've covered this before where we have the lineups. They put the current players or even the players from last season in lineups with the Invincibles. Or there's people saying, "Oh no, we, our the current front three goes in. It starts for Real Madrid." You know what I mean? The Bill was it Bill, Ronaldo, and Benzema front three. We can our front three our front three would go into Real Madrid's front three. They'll start ahead of those three. Now all these things we have seen, and this is where you always think like, okay, where is this going? How can he be? If these players go, a team or players can still perform higher, even though they're not really winning stuff. Like, players can still perform to a good level, such as a Declan Rice, a Saka, what he did a couple of years ago. Perform at a good level, but not really get the full recognition because they're not really winning. But if they end up winning, all of a sudden they do get put on high levels. Like Dembele was always rated, but look how he went to a next level when he won the Champions League and he started getting Ballon d'Ors, and those are all of a sudden you can start putting those players alongside some others because now they have the things with it. They have the package, they have everything with it. They have the luggage to go with it. You know what I mean? They have the trophies to go with it. So that's another thing.
let's take it game by game. Nobody wants to take it game by game. Everyone's like, we should be 20 points clear, and nobody wants to take it game by game. That's what
some people that are saying they should be 20 points clear are also perceived as the negative fans in the Arsenal fan base. The people that think that we should be ahead, and why aren't we ahead? And this is why the manager or the team isn't good enough, or we're gonna be let down. But there's also people that are saying we should be 20 points ahead in terms of everything's fine. We just want to do whatever the horse thing has on the sides. Yeah, we just want to look forward. We don't want to look anywhere else. We're just trying to go forward. We've already won this. So listen.
why rival fans, Arsenal got the biggest social media, the presence online, because all we do.
I don't think I agree with him in terms of the whole Arsenal had the biggest social media presence, and I think I mentioned that earlier as well. But I don't think it being the biggest plays a factor.
Is sit online and argue with each other. Instead of us banding together and fighting the rivals, we're online. People can set up a stream or a podcast with two sets of Arsenal fans and just watch it. They can just sit there, yeah, this Arsenal fan, that Arsenal fan, that Arsenal fan, get their popcorn out and watch it. Come on, we'll just watch Arsenal fans going at each other. It's entertainment to everybody else. Because as far as they're concerned, you guys are a gimmick. The Arsenal fan base is a gimmick. It's like going to the theatre. That's what it is.
To be fair, I can't lie, he's not wrong. You see Arsenal fans going at it, and there's multiple types. There's the deluded one, the delusional one, there's the ultra positive one, there's the so-called negatives. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in the negative ones, because the reason why I don't really see the negative ones and actually see them in the negative bracket is because of how many years it's been since they won a league title. And on top of that, how many years it's been since Arteta's been here. And every year the goalpost moves, right? Every year is the first time it was like, well, what was I don't even remember what the first year was. The first year was that he missed out on top four. It was like, well, he ain't got the players. Second year, then we were like, well, club got 3 years. Do you know what I mean? And then he got the Champions League. When he got 3 years, they didn't. Well, he needs this and he needs that. Oh, he bottled the league because Saliba got injured. Then the next season it was this. There's always something. And then at some point, some people are not going to sit there and have the same level of patience they would have had at year 3 that they're going to have at year 6. And some people say, well, you're just fan. You should just stick to it and just watch and just follow the team no matter what they do. And I just don't think that's right as a Chelsea fan. You know what I mean? As someone who's seen a lot of managers come in and out, changing your manager is not always the worst thing. Look, for example, at this moment in time with Carrick. Right, Carrot came in. United season has kind of changed in a better way. You know, it's changed in a good way. Arsenal fans always had that. If you get rid of Arteta, it can never get better than that. If you get rid of Arteta, who are you going to replace him with? Like, that was always, for me, narrow-minded. You know, the same way it can go downhill, it can go uphill. They're just not willing to take that risk.
They're not thinking, oh yeah, this Arsenal fan base are realistic. This Arsenal fan base are level-headed. They got rationale, logic. You don't apply those things with Arsenal fans. You apply delusion. Do you know what I'm saying? People start talking about mental health. You're deluded and you've got mental health. That's how people talk about the Arsenal fan base. And we're allowing that. Because what we're doing, we draw at Brentford. They hate Arsenal because...
Then look, listen, like I said, for me, this is the video clip that I wanted to go over. Big up to D from Famzone TV. I just think that, look, you can even see the comments on this video for the people that want to know what I'm talking about. This was obviously on TikTok. As a Chelsea fan, I'd rather see Chelsea relegated than Arsenal winning the league. Even though I think that's extreme and I'd probably not want that. But as a LFC fan, I'd rather we finish 12th than see Arsenal win the league. Once I heard an Arsenal fan say Saka's better than Mbappe, that's when I wished for Man City or Villa to win the league. When Arsenal fans saying Arteta is one of the greatest coaches to ever manage in the Premier League while winning nothing, when you see some Arsenal fans saying Saka's better than Mbappe, then you don't... Like, these are the things. It's not even... I think they sometimes think that because they've won, and every time you speak to them, they go and revert back to the... they revert back to the Invincible season. Every time you speak to them, it's the Invincible. Wow, but it's yours gold. I'm like, but that kind of tells you that you have to go back to 2004 to tell us how good your team was. And yes, I think they had good teams in recent time, not great teams. I think I had good teams with Alexis Sanchez, Ozil, like Aubameyang, and like all those teams. I don't think they were bad. Cool, they had issues. It was one of those where some seasons the attack was fixed, the defense weren't. The defense was fixed, the attack weren't. Like you had those kind of seasons. But going from that, this is where for me it started to kind of, when it was a bit, I kind of got surprised. So when I actually go into the tweet, because this is where it kind of went left, right? This is to me where it kind of went left. So I can show you guys some of these quote tweets, yeah, because I kind of want to give you guys an idea of what I've seen and what I think. A lot of this is Arsenal fans. Look, it says Arsenal fan here, yeah. You didn't hate Arsenal fans when we used to get slapped 10-2 an aggregate against Bayern, but you hate them now, do you? Like, he does. Some of people don't realize why that he's an Arsenal fan, and he's trying to give you a perspective. Rival fans and the media were saying the league was done in November. It was never us that said that. We've always said the league is determined at the final part of the season. That's when the league's determined. And we've seen it over the last couple of years. Do you know what I mean? And this is another guy. This is another weird guy that I don't know what's wrong with him. Right? You know, some people don't look at this. We don't hate we don't hate Arsenal. It's your fan base we hate. We have nothing against the club. It's just code for we spent 20 years having your unhappiness as fallback. Go to for any shortcoming of our clubs had. Now don't even have that and can't see Arsenal fans being happy. Yeah? So let's see what he's got to say.
Nonsense. And I ain't hearing it. Yeah? I'm sorry. Yeah? But every fan base in a moment where they are looking like they can be more successful, when they're playing the best football, living their best life.
See, this is where, for me, I have an issue with this. Yeah? One, you're not playing the best football. You're probably playing the worst football in the top 6. You know what I'm saying? Even Villa plays better football. You know what I mean? Newcastle play better football than Arsenal. So that's one thing. The second one, yeah, is that I've already said this. Well, not I've already said every fan base has the deluded fans, like it's all separate fan base. He's tried to give us an angle from the rival fans, tried to explain it to the Arsenal fans, right? But he's already on the defensive saying, well, all the fan bases have it and we've played the best football. Bro, you have fumbled the league 3 times in a row. So I understand that you're hoping that the team wins the league. No one's going to say you can't hope that your team goes and wins the league. No one can say that. You know what I mean? Because every fan would love their team to win the league or try to at least get very close to winning the league. But mainly everyone is hoping their team wins the league. When the league starts, that's our aim. So we've never actually said that no one can say that.
Has a contingent within their fan base, yeah, that becomes unbearable to every other fan base because they're ramming that down people's throats. And yes, I am that guy.
So essentially, this is the exact reason why we ramming it down other people's fan base. Let me explain it to you guys, yeah? You see, when my team won the Club World Cup, when my team won the Conference League, Chelsea, when we won the Champions League, I was not concerned about any rival fan. I was busy celebrating with my fellow fans. I don't care. Like, when I'm going through the challenge and we were trying to go to win the league back with Conte, I cared about what my team was doing on the pitch. And if someone is trying to give constructive criticism, I'll try to watch my team and see, like, does this guy know what he's talking about, or is he just trying to say things for the sake of saying things? And that is the difference, because Arsenal fans just believe that everyone just hates them because we just hate them. Right? They don't want to look within themselves. They just want to say, you hate them, you hate them, you hate them, bro. And we want to do this. You can't do certain things without having the credentials. If Arsenal win and they start shoving it in our faces, we're like, okay, cool, you won. There's nothing we can say. You've done what you went set out to do throughout the season. You've won the Premier League. You're cool. This is the point I'm making. But rubbing it in other people's faces when you have won, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, but let me just give this bullshit narrative, yeah, some counter context, right? For 2 decades, we've been ridiculed, laughed at, heckled. People even made an adjective phrase out of it, i.e.
Okay, we've been ridiculed. One, that's because of your performance as a club and your team. Same way United has been, been laughed at for not winning, having Ole, having Mourinho and all these managers and, their club going downhill. The same way, like, we've seen it. Like, it's not just Arsenal, but Arsenal's the one that started the whole online thing. They had their characters on AFTV, big up to Troops, do you know what I'm saying? And all the other ones, you know what I'm saying? Big up to Turkish, all of them, yeah? And except for one of them, but that's another point. But in general, they've had their bit. And that's where the whole people started seeing you lose on camera, the raging, that's where it came from. Like, it didn't come from us just picking on Arsenal. Like, it was never that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't choose Arsenal as the one to cook or like, no. And in the meantime, when the camera's on them, they weren't winning. Cool, the AFTV days, they were winning FA Cups and that. But for me, it's always changed since the Arteta period. Do you get me? And that's the bit that they don't want to talk about. Yes, they want to take out the anger where now they are fighting for, for a title and, they're challenging and stuff like that. And I agree with that. But come back to us when you win. It's as simple as that. Come back to us when you win. The problem is they were like, we got to enjoy this period and take out everyone. But if you don't win, there's no point.
AFTV and chill, yeah? As in, people didn't only take pleasure, they went out of their way to drink in our discomfort, our misery, and our woes. And now that we're playing better, yeah, now that we're competing at the level we should be, whilst all these other rivals aren't, yeah, it's not AFTV and chill anymore. It's Chelsea fan TV and chill. Yeah?
Okay.
It's United stand.
All these other periods, well, we still won Champions Leagues and okay, cool. Right now we have our little periods here and there. Obviously, we're not playing really well. Like in the last couple of years, we had that up moment, but we're still winning.
And chill. Do you know what I mean? It's Anfield Agenda and chill. Yeah. Expressions TV and chill. And these rivals, they don't like it. So they come up with this cockamamie bullshit argument. No, because they're seeing us happy now. Yeah? And they're not used to that. 2 decades of seeing us having meltdowns. Yeah? Generational meltdowns.
For me, there's never been a problem with someone being happy with their team winning. It's how you behave. It's like the level. Like, it's not about being happy. Like, they just do this to act like the victim. It's a victim thing. Oh, they're picking on us. Oh, we can't be happy. Look at them. They're all pointing the finger at us because we're happy. You can be happy you won the league. Like, no one's disputing that. If you win the league, the Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, it's not. We didn't make the phrase up. Bigger fish to fry. Oh, we don't care about these cups. Energy drink bottle. But then all of a sudden, the energy drink cup. We don't care about the energy drink cup. We're here to go for the league. That's the entitlement that D was talking about earlier. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the entitlement he was talking about earlier. Oh, we don't care about this trophy. We don't care about that trophy. We're going for Champions League, and then they go throw it away. They've made themselves the cinema. I was upset when we went out the Carabao Cup. I said, I want to win that trophy. I don't care about what I can get. I'm still in the Champions League. I'm still in the FA Cup. I still want to win the Carabao Cup.
Fighting amongst ourselves and having nothing to look forward to. Seeing us have all these things now. Yeah, having so much to look forward to, seeing light at the end of the tunnel as the tunnel becomes dark at the end of theirs. This is why they're coming up with this cockamamie bullshit.
You see, they always think that they can. I don't know. Look, you see, they look at it from their perspective in terms of what they would do if they weren't doing well and someone else was doing better and they were angry. And we saw that when Arsenal weren't doing well and, City was winning leagues, Liverpool winning leagues, you always heard about, City's 1-1-5, Pep's cheating, Pep this, the referee, Liverpool, they always dive in, Liverpool this. Like, they always made excuses and always felt like they were hating or jealous on what other teams were doing. And now they're kind of challenging. They're surprised why people are doing the same thing back to them. That's essentially what it is. You know what I mean? That's essentially what it is. All the energy that Arsenal fans put across the people when they were challenging or what they were treating on plastic club, this and that. This is the season they're calling it Berta Madness because they spend money. They called it Berta Madness because he bought a striker, a 10, a centre-back, another centre-back. They called it Berta Madness because he spent a lot of money. But they want to ridicule Pep for spending money, United for spending money, or Chelsea spending money, Liverpool for spending money this season. They're the loudest ones. But when it's their team, it's Berta Madness. The managers almost spent 1 billion, won nothing. This is the logic that we're dealing with, bro. It's about acting a victim and saying that you're only doing it because someone did it to you, when in reality, you done it first.
Oh, it's not Arsenal that we hate, it's your fans. Fuck off. Do me a favor. You spent 2 decades making us the joke. And now that your teams have become the butt of our jokes, you don't like it. And you want to come up with this bullshit excuse about, the only reason you hate Arsenal fans is Arsenal fans. Fuck off.
Look, I'm not even going to try to watch the rest of that. But he's getting, and this tells you everything about the fan base. D is an Arsenal fan. D is an Arsenal fan. And he's responded in this way towards his own Arsenal, to his fellow Arsenal fan. Every club goes through their high period and the low periods. Every club does that. And let me give you some other stuff. Because some people hate. We'll give you some other context, yeah, because we always get told we're hating. So, someone tweeted this out earlier. Normal, just Julian Alvarez's friend has confirmed that Julian Alvarez told that Arsenal is a real option he's seriously considering. Alvarez said Barcelona, PSG, Arsenal, Chelsea want me, but I would never consider leaving Madrid for a club like Chelsea, no matter how much they offer me. Whether I think it's true or not, or I can't speak on that. I don't really mind. This Arsenal fan decided he's gonna quote tweet it and say only people from dumpsters like Bangladesh and Africa still think Chelsea are bigger than Arsenal. Even the real Chelsea fans in the UK know who the bigger club is. And guess what? He's from Africa. They're willing to disrespect their own continent to get 180k views for engagement. That's the people that we're dealing with, bro. Big up to Igal. I got no issues with Igal at all. I just want to show you his Twitter feed just to give you an idea. Yeah. So here he's someone is telling you that he's never won anything, but he's won the league in 11 years. He won it once in 11 years. Yeah, he's still done more than Arteta, who only got one FA Cup in 6 or 7. So, cool. Do I rate him? No, but he's acting like Arteta's amazing and people just want Simeone for no reason, right? Let me show you, man, because I've seen this. Here it's about nobody gets engagement without speaking about Arsenal. It's just one of those where let me see if I can find it. Yeah, everyone using Arsenal for clickbait and rage bait on the social media post. Just tell me we're going to be the biggest clubs in the world, and all these guys can do one. And it's all about half glass empty, half glass full, and all that. Like for me, the haters. Saka's been poor this season. What about the haters? There's no haters. And look, it's all about making it. Why do Liverpool fans want City to win the league when this is what City done to you lot? The problem, and this is where we go back to the same thing. This is where it goes back to. Then it's always, look, the Man City went from being 9 points behind in the 83rd minute at Anfield to the gap, now being 4 points with 12 games to go. Arsenal rage bait. I'm Arsenal rage bait. I understand that you can't always win every game. I understand that, it's one of those, but I think at the end of the day, it's just a thing where every time you think about it, like, even here, City fan, I can only say I've never hated the club or fan base as much as I do with Arsenal. And then it's like, well, why don't you hate United? Why don't you hate United? And this is where, for me, I'm about to obviously end the stream, the video, but this is for me that emphasizes everything about this, right? Because I know I spoke a lot, but as Chelsea fans, it's about holding the standards about certain aspects. Like, people always ask me, what do you think? Once if you're Arsenal, so you know, sometimes you say, well, I think Arteta should be sacked. You know, sometimes when they ask you, what do you think about Arteta? Well, he's been there for too many years. I'm not surprised his teams are well drilled, because once you're there for 6 years, you know, everyone knows what they need to do. The plan's clear, X, Y, and Z. And then you go to watch a game and you see their fan base, like the Arsenal fan base, falling asleep, not able to watch the game. But if I as a fan say, as a rival fan say, their football's boring, are you just hating because you're not top of the league? And I'm like, I'm not hating. I just think that it's boring. Like, if you're going to play boring, that's fine, because we played boring and still won. But you just need to make sure you win. No, we're not boring. Then another thing, the set piece. We can actually go in order. Dark Arts. They played attacking football in 22-23. They were, I think, 93% of the season. Everyone actually praised them. Everyone said, this Arsenal team looks dangerous. Whether they would win the league now or not, that's the story. When they bottled it, happens, it is what it is. All right, cool. Second season. But even before that, they bottled top 4. The Antonio Conte, I'm pretty sure. But then, obviously, they challenged that season. They make it next season. Instead of changing the personnel, he decided, or even going a little bit more defensively and still have that attack that he had in terms of the way he was playing. No. Would you the next season more defensive? Last season it was, what was it? What was not last season? The season before last. What was it? Dark Arts. Or was it even last season? Dark Arts. Oh, we're gonna do this. We're gonna try to do this. We're gonna push people around. They're gonna try to do this. We're gonna try to get into the opposition's heads. Didn't work. Didn't win the league. Instead of just, all you needed to do was get the line, get the squad, improve the personnel, because remember he had the whole Saliba got injured, holding played and all that, whatever. They've got the squad now. He can be more reliant on their defense and go forward with the attack, play more expansive and kill teams off and be more comfortable. And he has that security from how good the defense is to see games out. They score one goal from a set piece and then try to sit out the rest of the game, and they can lose games. So, if you mention that to an Arsenal, you just hate it. We play good football. When Gyökeres came in, he's going to level, he's going to challenge Haaland. Instead of seeing what he's going to do and saying, hopefully he can be the guy that can challenge Haaland for us this season, we got someone that's better, that's going to show Haaland levels. And then when he doesn't do it, but he's not getting the pass. He's this and he's that. Eze, they were all singing about Eze, let it all work out. Odegaard. And a lot of the times they've gassed players up who then ended up leaving or never achieving anything that they were saying. Let's go back. Zinchenko. He is very integral in the way we play. Nothing happened. He's Ajax. Went to Forest, went to this team, went to Ajax, never really done anything. All of a sudden, it's Hincapié now. It's Calafiori. Last season, Calafiori was an Italian who can't defend. And then all of a sudden, this season, we can't play without him. In the sixth season, that's their front line. Martinelli or Trossard, Gyökeres, and Saka. Saka got a grade 3 hamstring. You look on their team now. Yes, they're still managing to get through because they got Madueke. But they just they see a bit, they just look at short term. Everything they look at is short term. We won this game today. We won this. No, you don't win the league now. You win the league in May. Now, if you try to get as much points as you can throughout the season, and they were killing teams off and they were getting the wins, and people will be like, listen, this Arsenal team genuinely is dangerous. This Arsenal team genuinely is great. People would give you that credit. But you're not just going to get free credit. And a lot of the times you get it, we just want respect. We just want respect. You need to respect us. Look where we are. You wish to be in our position. What's the point of me being in your position if I can't win? If I'm just there just to participate? But in general, I think every time it's back, then it's when you lose something, it's injuries. Then every time there's something. But it's, for me, I've even seen the big up Igao. He tried to compare Gyökeres with Drogba and all these things, and I feel like that's also another thing where people are looking at it thinking, okay, you know what, you always take it too far. And this is also a reason why people don't want Arsenal fans to win. I just and those are the bits where I look at and I say, you know what, yeah, this is not this ain't it. But besides that, look, like I said, even ending it on this now, my team, Chelsea fans, we're always on edge in terms of if he doesn't do good enough, he's out. If it's this is then and Arsenal fans are always one of the first people to say, if your manager doesn't win, if your manager doesn't get top 4 this season, would you want him sacked? And they want you to say yes to, because if you get to the end of the season and you don't say you want him sacked, or you flip flopped, or you weren't telling the truth. But they're the same people that have said if the manager doesn't win X, Y, and Z at the end of the season, he should be sacked. And then they change their mind at the end. The goalpost is constantly moving. I can even give you a near example. Arsenal played Brentford the other day. Gabriel should have been sent off, or could have been sent off. He didn't get sent off. Is what it is. Some people said this fine. Is what it is. The minute you say, "Oh, I think Gabriel should have been sent off," well, you know, yeah, but he didn't get sent off though. I'm like, we understand that, you know, the Premier League's the Premier League and the referees are not always 100%. They do their thing. There's not necessarily a consistency, but that still doesn't undo that Gabriel should have been sent off or not. We're talking about that specific thing. We're not talking about whether the other guy should have been sent off and other guys. I didn't tell you lot to bring me examples. I'm just saying this is what I saw in the game the other day. And look, they're happy that they're in that position. They can enjoy that position as much as they like. I'm more focused on my club and what my club's doing. But if someone asks me, do you want to see Arsenal winning the league? It's no. And the only reason is that I was laughing when Spurs won the Europa League last season. I was not upset. They barely won a trophy. They won a Europa League, which I got 2 of. Do you know what I mean? And every time my team was in that competition and I've seen them win it, when I saw them win it, I was like, is what it is. I wasn't thinking, oh, Tottenham, if Tottenham win a trophy, it's going to be dark for me. I wasn't thinking any of that. Because I'm not really care. I don't care about that fan base. But the most nagging fan base, and that specific group of people that I'm talking about, I'm not talking about all Arsenal fans. I need to clarify this. I have good friends of Arsenal fans. I'm fine with it. Just be more realistic. If you win the league this season, calm, do your thing. We don't care. Well, we need to shove it in your face. You don't need to shove it enough. How about you actually enjoy seeing a Premier League that you haven't seen in 20 years? Why is in your mind the first thing you need to go, I need to go rattle the opposition fan bases? Enjoy winning the league. That's what it should be about. That's what it really should be about. But listen, like I said, I'll ask this question at the end. Be honest. If you're not an Arsenal fan, what is your real reason as to why you don't like Arsenal? And that's only if you don't like Arsenal. If you do like Arsenal, that's fine. But if you don't, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Big up to all of you. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Make sure you're also subscribing and following Famzone TV on social media and on YouTube. I'll put their link in the in the description below. So make sure you go give them a subscribe as well. And yeah, man, I'm out. Love.